we do, we can find a lot of consistencies, and so it means we can find what works well for a roofer or a plumber or another home service provider.
What would you say is like one example of something that you can kind of pull from? Obviously, all these companies are in different locations with different service areas, but like what's one example of something that you can kind of knowledge share?
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, there's different levels of competition, different audiences in each market. But one thing we can find really consistently is how to win for a roofer looks very different than how to win for an e-commerce or a sales company or whatever they might be. So knowing what winning looks like for a roofer or home service provider is very consistent depending on, regardless of where they are. So knowing what a Google Ads success for a roofer looks like, knowing what a good website design for a roofer looks like, knowing what good SEO looks like for roofers, that's all pretty consistent regardless of where they are.
I also think like being able to understand ideal customers is helpful, and a lot of our clientele is focused on homeowners, and I feel like that's really different than a lot of other types of, like how you mentioned, e-commerce, and it's just different target audiences. So I feel like that's a good thing to be able to know is how do we speak directly to homeowners, and I'm sure that that's really helpful on the PPC side as well of like what does an ad look like for a homeowner.
Yeah, I think it comes down to like the nitty gritty details, like material types and flat versus residential, or like low slope versus high slope. All of those like industry terms that the general population doesn't really know what those things are. We're working with roofers so consistently that if someone tells me they do EPDM roof restoration, I know exactly what that is. And I can already think about Google Ads campaigns that we can start building around those things. Whereas a non-niched agency or marketing partner is going to have to
teach us that.
Yeah, they're going to have to really research that and figure out what is the difference between EPDM and PVC or GAF and Owens Corning. They just don't know those things. Who are the types of contractors we don't work with? I know right off the top of my head, we want people that are hungry to grow. So if you don't want to grow, we don't want to work with you.
Our ideal client has done some marketing in the past, right? Like not that they've run Google Ads on their own or even that they've run Google Ads at all, but they have been trying. They've been doing some marketing. They want to grow. I think that's exactly like the right type of person that we like to work with because, your process is built around getting more leads, closing more business, and helping businesses grow. So our ideal clients are on WordPress, or they want us to build them a new website on WordPress. They are over $2 million in revenue, have been doing some marketing for a while. Usually it's not somebody's first website that we're building. Someone that's going to be respectful to our team and respectful to our process because we have built out this process. We know what works. We don't understand your business as well as you do, but we take that into consideration with our knowledge and just someone that respects our process and the fact that we are the marketing experts, right? As we've mentioned, there's a lot of good things with being niched and working with a lot of people within the same industry and working with a lot of roofers. How do you make sure that their account is different from another's? Like, how do you make sure that their ads are different from somebody else's ads?
Yeah, I think it comes down to the question that we could probably ask roofers and business owners. How is your roofing business different than your competitors? And that's why we do an extensive kickoff process. We really learn in depth what does make your business different, and then we can take that and apply that to the somewhat formulaic approach that we have to working with contractors and making a Google Ads account or a website, and then add that really custom twist that is the same as whatever makes that roofing company or that plumber different.
Okay, so you're not taking a template and just writing you have the same ad copy, you're switching out the name, you're switching out the service. Everything is completely unique and custom.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. We know what works, and then we take what makes that client unique and apply that to what works to make it its own original unique thing.
Awesome.